Good morning, everyone. My name is Laura Stranks and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Thanks for joining me today. This is the card we're going to do. It's called a fan card. Well, that's my interpretation of it, as a fan card. I'm not sure what others have called it. I haven't seen it done for quite a while. The lady I did watch to try her card was in French, I think. It was a little bit hard to understand, but I tried to work it out myself. It is a bit larger card, so I am going to try one later on and scale it down a little bit to a standard size card, but today we're doing a 7x5. I'll just start with a couple of business end stuff first, just for everyone who's interested. I've got a Facebook page called Cards by Laura. In there you can follow along on that page, and I have got cards in there that I've made at my workshops and classes. No PDFs or tutorials in that page. I've got a large Facebook group. This is where you will find all the PDFs for all of my videos, and also PDFs. I do a live on a Saturday morning in the group. The PDF for that is in there as well, in the files tab in that group. There's also a featured tab where the videos, not these videos, but my live videos are stored, so you can hop in there. There is also some important notices in the featured tab as well that I pin up there. To join this group, this large group, you will need to answer two questions. One is why you wish to join the group, and the other is that you agree to the rules. If you don't see those questions on the device you're on, you'd need to go onto a different device. If you don't answer the questions for whatever reason, then you will be rejected. You must answer the two questions to be able to go into that group. If you're watching today for the first time, it's my YouTube channel is called Creative Gems, and I'd love you to subscribe if you haven't already done so. That is all my business side of it for now. We shall get on to this card. Now, this is a take two because the first one I did a little bit of an oops, so I thought I would start again. So a couple of my pieces I have cut, but I'll still go through it with you. As usual, I've got my measurements here typed up, and I've got all my pieces cut. So we shall go from there. Now, don't take any notice of the pieces that are cut. I will show you again where we cut them. So this is my main base, which I have already cut. So that piece was on there. It measures 10 inches by 7 inches, and I've scored it at 5 inches on the long side. I'll go through that bit with you in a minute. Put that aside. And then we've got another piece the same colour as the base, matte, and it is 6 inches by 4 inches, which it was that shape there. And I have already cut that one, but that's the only two I've cut. So we'll get to those in a minute. Now, you need a coordinating colour for your mats. The first one here is 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. There's one of those, and a 5 1/2 by 3 1/2. There's one of those. So that's those two. And then the DSP, I've labelled it Design 1 and Design 2 because, as you'll see with this one, the top, this main piece at the back here is one design, and the strip that's cut off that at the side here is on the top. So that was my Design 1, and underneath it hasn't got as many flowers. It's Design 2. So I've chosen, this is my Design 1. This paper is out of the Regal Winter. It's in the mini catalogue at the moment. Beautiful, beautiful paper. I love it all. Even a colour wild wheat that I'm not too fussed on. I even like that paper. It's quite pretty. In small pieces, it's lovely. We have used a lot of one piece. I'm not sure if there's any bits in here left. We're using it for our retreat. No, it doesn't look as though there's any in there. I know I used a lot. There was another blue pattern in there. So this piece here is my Design 1. It's 6 1/2 by 4 1/2. That's that one there. And then Design 2, that's this one. It's 5 by 3. And that coordinates with that. They're totally different patterns on the back. I didn't like that as my coordinating colour. I've got those two. My mats, they're in Bubble Bath because some of the colours in here, to me, they're not listed on the pack as Bubble Bath, but it lends itself nicely with the Bubble Bath mat. So that's what I've chosen with that. My bases were Cherry Cobbler. And then we have this other little strip that's going down on the inside of the card, which is on the white in here. And it is 6 3/4 by 1 inch. That's that piece there. And my inside basic white, which I have stamped a little flower at the bottom here just to coordinate with what's on the paper. And it's 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. So that's all your pieces. I'll go through all the decorations with you in a minute when we get to them. So you can take a screenshot of that, but the measurements will be in the description box of this video, so you don't need to write them down. And also the PDF with the measurements and all full instructions will be in the Files tab in my group, Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials, so you can find it there. So we shall get started, and we shall do it properly this time. So you'll need your base first, and I'll just go through it with you again, what I started before. So this is 7 inches long, 10 inches long by 7 inches high. So I've already scored it at 5 inches on the long side. So that's that piece there. And then I measured, that's this piece, not that piece, this piece here. I'll move the trimmer out of the road because we're not going to need it for a minute. I'll show you what I've done here. On your PDF, you've got all the pieces here, and it tells you exactly on each piece where you're going to cut and measure. So on this base piece here, I'll leave this here for me, 2 inches from your right edge, and it tells you up here, I'll move that down a little bit so you can see, put a pencil mark at 2 inches from the outside edge of the base. So that's that one there, and I put a little pencil mark, and then I cut from that pencil mark down to this point and cut that whole piece off. We can rub out that pencil mark because otherwise it will show later. And so that's 2 inches in from the right edge, and cut that off. And we do need this piece, so I'll just put that away for a minute. That's that piece. Then this piece here is your next piece. It's the next base piece. And that's this piece here, 6 by 4, same as the base, cut on the diagonal from top left to bottom right. So I've just put my trimmer, I'll show you from here, so you know exactly what you're doing. So it was originally like that, and I put my track, my cardstock in the track of the trimmer up here with the point and down here with the point, and I cut on the diagonal, so from top left to bottom right, and cut on the diagonal. If you do cut it this way, all you do is flip it over and it'll be correct, so don't worry if you've cut the wrong direction. So that's that piece. Now this piece here is your next one, 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. Put a pencil mark on the short side at the top at 2 3/4 for across from the left edge. So this is my left edge here over this side, 2 3/4. We need here 2 3/4 is there, and then we're going to cut from there. You can't quite see the bottom, but it'll tell you here, cut from the pencil mark to the bottom right corner. So I'm going to cut from there down to this bottom right corner. So I've got the pencil mark in the track and the point of the corner at the bottom in the track. Make sure they're lined up perfectly, otherwise you won't get a very nice finish on your card. And I'm putting it in the middle. You could start at the top here because it's not a point, but I'm cutting that way. So that's that piece cut off there, and you need both of those pieces, but I'm going to cut that smaller piece again in a minute. So this piece will go on here like so. That's your mat for your front. I'm going to rub out that pencil mark. You can definitely see that on the pink. I need to get my good rubber out, but it's buried down under some other stuff at the moment. Now this piece here that's left, you need, and it'll tell you on here, remove 1/4 inch off the right side of the smallest piece. So this is my smallest piece, and I want 1/4 inch, which is this mark here, just after that track, and it lines up with a line down there. Just put that down, and you're going to take off 1/4 inch off that. That's to let it fit, and this is the piece we cut off the bottom before, so that then fits in there, like so, with a nice even border all around. So that's 2 pieces done. Now our other one, that's the base part, and then we need the smaller pink mat, and all you're doing is cutting from top left to bottom right, the same as you did the cherry cobbler or the base colour piece, top left to bottom right. And because it's cut smaller, it's going to fit. Just make sure that stays in the track as well. Hold it really steady while you drop your blade and check it again. Start in the middle, don't start at the point. And that's those 2. I'll just put that aside for a sec, and these will be the mats for this piece, like so. We'll get those lined up in a sec, and they go on there. So that's my mats for those. We'll keep them all together. Then we've got the DSP, or Designer Series paper, as it should be called. We don't need that piece, that's just going straight on the white, and the white is there, so we can put that aside. This larger piece here, and it tells you on here, 6.5 by 4.5, design 1. Put a pencil mark in at 2.5 inches from the left edge. Now this is directional. I think it is. These flowers here, they should be up and down this way, so that's the way I've cut them, and I'm going this way. That should be the up and down that way, because your leaves are up and down both ways, but that way didn't look right to me. I'm not sure, but I like it this way, so we're going with this. Put a pencil mark in 2.5 inches from the left edge. It's probably going to hard to see my pencil mark here. 2.5 inches, which is there. It's pretty much on a lighter colour, so that's not too bad. And then we're going to cut from there, that pencil mark, down to the bottom right corner. I'll get my trimmer again. That's my pencil mark there. You probably can't see it, but I can. Put that in the track and the track. Start in the middle, up and down. So then this piece, we'll go to that in a minute. And then this piece here, I think, yes, we're going to cut. It's not showing on my pattern here because I took this photo and then realised I didn't cut that bit off, but you're cutting 1/2 inch off the right edge of the smaller piece. So this is the smaller piece, and we're cutting off 1/2 inch this time, so it fits nicely on the mat. The other one was 1/4 inch. Go up like that, and that's 1/2 inch off. So that's just the piece you need. This will be a little bit of scrap, and that piece is the one you keep. And then your other design 2, you're just cutting from top left to bottom right, same as you did with all the other smaller pieces. Top left to bottom right. Start in the middle, keep it in the track, up and down, and that's my other piece. That stays exactly as it is. And all your pieces here are listed down here of the sizes, and it shows you're cutting down here. On this piece up here, it didn't show cutting off this 1/2 inch piece, but it does down here. So you can see that there. And then on my next page, which we can use now for assembling, I've got this. So we'll put that up there out of the road, and we'll just get all these pieces and lay them out before we adhere them together. So that's my mat goes on there, and then my DSP goes on there. That's that one. We'll put the white one aside for a minute. We don't need that till the end. This one here, which is the bigger one. We only need one of these, not both, and you've got to make sure you get the right one, the correct one I should say. So it's this one here from the right hand side of what you cut. The other one will be spare, so that one, and this is my alternate one, so it'll be this one on here, and this one you won't need, and this one you won't need. So there's 3 pieces there. You could do another card, but then you'd have 2 more left over, but you wouldn't cut these pieces, but you could use those on another card. So the left edge of what you cut out of these 3 pieces is not needed on this card. You need the right edge ones, and those will go on there like so, and we line them up properly, and on there. So that's another lot, and then this one here is the other one you'll need, and I've even got here the pieces that you don't need. So it's those little bits that we cut off, and these 3 pieces, which is the ones I just showed you. They're the ones you don't need. So that's that there, and this one here. Those 3 go together. They will go together once we get them lined up properly. So that's the 3 you need. And then, as you can see by the card, your bigger piece goes underneath. That's with this alternate pattern on, design 2, and then the smaller one just goes on the top. Very easy to do. It's a matter of just putting it all together now. So we shall do that. I am going to use liquid glue so I can get this reasonably straight. It may not be exact, but if it's going to be out a little bit, a fraction, try and put it down here, because you could cover it with a greeting. Up here, I think I didn't get this real good here. It's sort of a big gap, like a wider piece there. It's not too noticeable. I think it probably stood out more on the white than what I wanted, but this is a fairly new glue, so it's going to come out fairly quick. I'll keep it away from the edge. I might get my tweezers out. I didn't bring any wipes in, but I'll just use one from up there. So this one will go onto your mat. Try and line it up reasonably straight. This is not the, this is the one that comes up pretty good. It's doesn't sort of go too out of whack. It's those pointy ones that are hard to get a little bit straight. That can go on there, and then we can put this one over here. You could layer these up with dimensionals, but I didn't because the card's quite thick with the layers anyway. I did put my greeting up, which I'm going to do with this one as well. I cleaned that before, and now it's all stuff on again. So that one will go on there, like so. Some of the girls in my group have been asking for this card, a video for this card. The only one I could find was the one in French, and I'm sure the ladies from America, well, maybe not America, but I know Australia, not a lot of people speak French, so I thought I will do my own. But I don't even know the lady's name. That she had a Facebook name, I think, but not a proper name. And it's a while ago when I found it, so I can't even remember who it was. So that's not too bad this time. We'll make sure we can get it reasonably straight. I do recommend liquid glue. That's not too bad. And then that one will go on to the cherry cobbler base. It's never ending the colours you could use for this. I do like blues, but I'm trying to get myself out of the habit of, I nearly chose blue today, but I didn't have enough of the paper I wanted to use, so we stuck to a different colour. But if you've seen my craft room, which I have done a video of over 12 months ago, there's a couple of videos on my channel showing my craft room. If you want to go back and have a look, if you've subscribed, and you'll see the layout, and you'll see I've got lots of blue. So, and then we shall put this one together. Fairly quick card once you cut all the pieces, and it looks a little bit daunting with the angle cut pieces, but as you know, they're not angles when you start, they're into rectangles. So get all your pieces cut and then slice away. I think the lady that I watched with this, she didn't do it. She didn't do the pieces like this. Got a little bit too much glue there. It was totally different, the pieces, and I got lost trying to watch it. But once I got the gist of the layout, it wasn't too hard to work out. I like a bit of a challenge. My Craft Room Tips and Tutorials page, I do a live every Saturday morning, and it's called Craft Along With Me. So on the Wednesday of that same week, I put up a post with all the measurements of the pieces that the ladies would need to cut for themselves. Got glue everywhere. I should have got my silicone mat out. They cut all the pieces beforehand, and then on the Saturday morning when I go live, I go through the pieces the same as I did today, go through the pieces with them. They don't know what they're making until we start on a Saturday. I show them the sample card that we've got. So yeah, it's quite good. I get a lot of ladies on watching. Now this piece here, I'm going to put flat. Where's my original card? Over here. Poor thing's been tossed into the corner. So this one here, just make sure your point up here is inside the perimeter of your card. This one here will easily fall into place, but the point here, I'm putting it down, and I didn't put it right to the corner. Even if you want to just line it up with the mat, the pink, I've got the pink mat there. See, even this, oh, it's even on both sides there, pretty much. It's just that point bit there, it looks a little bit out. But make sure this top piece here is inside, and this one will automatically, you can see here, it's automatically inside that piece there. You need to keep it inside. So all I'm going to do is put some glue. I know I need it right to the center, and just not glue on this end, this inner piece here. So I'm going to keep the glue back from there. Just keep your finger there so you know not to put glue out there. So long as it's got glue in the corners and up in this corner. I don't like this pot of glue. It's stopping and starting, and it's way too thick. But anyway, we'll get there. So I'm putting that down into the point there, and just angle it around until you know you've got it not hanging over the edge at the top. And I know I kept my glue a fair way in there, so it's not going to stick out over the edge. And then, oh, I nearly got it. Only a fraction there. You could put it on and mark with a pencil here before you put your glue. Just put a pencil line down there. I should have done that. It's not coming out too much. And do the same with this one. I'll put this one on here. If you flip it over, it'll be the wrong angle, so you need to do it this way. So I'm putting my point parallel with the point at the bottom there. I'll just flip this up, holding that down, and then I shall put a pencil mark just across there. Doesn't have to be, it's just a rough guide, so I don't, and I'm going to go in under the pencil line anyway, just to be sure. And then I'm putting glue definitely down in that point. That's miles more glue than I normally use. I hardly ever use any glue. It doesn't need it, but it's just coming out so thick. But we'll fix it. The best way, like it's a bit sticky down there where it went over the edge, but the best way to, if you've got sticky on the outside, get your buddy, which I will get. I'll wait for that to dry because I've got glue, excess glue down there. When it dries, I will just get my glue rubber and rub it off. It'll come off. But that's the base of your card. Very pretty. And then we shall put this one inside, and I've got a greeting to put on it as well. My silicone mat is out the back because I've got a workshop coming up and everything's set up out the back, so that's where my silicone mat is, although I do have another one in the drawer. I should have got that out. Laura has multiples of stuff. So we'll pop that one on there. That's just our inside decoration. You don't have to put DSP, you can stamp in here. Just make sure if you do stamp, I wouldn't get anything unless you're going to do a border type decoration around the edge, which you could do. Excuse me. I'll stick that down. I think I prefer my tape. I only want, because I wanted a little bit of wiggle room today, I used the glue. But lots of times I would use my tape. Little spotty bits on there. Started off with a nice clean surface, but didn't stay that way. That's the inside done. And then my greeting, I shall show you. I've got this little bow. I'm just going to pop it up the top here because it's not enough room on my greeting. I've cut these two from, and the happy birthday. The happy birthday is from Labelled with Love. And then it also comes with the dies that you can cut out the frames. So I'm going to split this one and split it at the back. This little flower, and the other is from the stamp set that goes with this paper, Regal something or other it's called. Regal, I'm not sure the name of it now, but it is in that set. I'm going to cut this in half and then split it. And I'm going to use some tape because I've had enough of the glue. I'll use this one. Much quicker and not so messy. I've split that, and I'm just going to give it a little border at the ends. That one there. And that one on that end. Just try and make them pretty even. Like so, and we'll put that up on dimensionals, which I did get out. And I've got the ribbon is from this satin ribbon. It's cherry cobbler and gold. It's in the mini catalogue as well. It goes with the Regal DSP and bundle, and sweet is the word. Goes with that sweet. So we'll put that down. I'm going to put it down the bottom the same as the other one. You could always do this pattern, this paper as a Christmas card too. I reckon that'd be a nice colour for Christmas, and decorate it with some bling. I've got a little mark on there. So I'll put that down the bottom. I don't want to cover the main feature part. And I shall put a glue dot on the back of this one. Just here. This roll's nearly done. And the pick tool. And we'll just pop that up the top, just for a little bit of extra decoration. like so. Some embellishments. I'm going to use the silver ones in these, although there's gold on that. I could use the gold ones. These are the Druzy adhesive backed embellishments. They're in the mini catalogue as well. Very pretty embellishments. I might use a couple of the bigger ones. We can put a couple on here. Put it down the bottom there. And one up there. And that is it. I think I've shown you everything I've used. And that's the card. And you'll definitely get that in the PDF with all your layouts and things, so you can follow along with that. It's easy to follow. Can't go wrong. So I hope you like that one today. It's my favourite. I'll fix up this glue. It's dry already, so we'll fix that up in a minute. And thanks for joining me again this week. And I shall catch you all again next Monday at 9 AM. Have a lovely week. Bye for now.